Alright guys, Talk Wrestling TV, back at it for the third time tonight, where twice 2K has crashed on me. It's a real big glitch going on where I'm guessing when you use a downloaded superstar, as soon as he come out, he's crashing the damn game. That just happened to me not once, but twice. But nevertheless, I'm gonna play a couple games online, so guys, be sure to smash that like button, comment, subscribe. We still talking wrestling, even though it's Madden 20 right now, guys. Keep it locked right here.
Like rocket fuel.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the east side of the Bay Bridge in Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. A clash of two of the more fervent fan bases around. The Cowboys and the Raiders are underway. This one taken from the 7. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. This will go for 5 up to the 33. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw, Prescott. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Complete to Jason Witten. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. First down carry by Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. Oh, he's looking long for Witten. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 34. They'll go with a big back. This is Olawale. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A 3-yard touchdown run. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who were blocking for him? They had to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he rifles one incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, he's want to avoid 3.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. Cooper was the target there.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
That's a real nice job right there. Working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Looking left sideline, it's complete. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Carr. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, but now it'll be third down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller there to make the grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agreed totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Elliott. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 38, Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They'll try to sweep with Elliott. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Prescott, and he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Max Crosby, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studio. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And they work this well field across the 45. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the quarterback was hit.
Here's Carr. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now Austin. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. The final shot here before half for Carr. And this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's second down. Well, partner, let's look league-wide for a second and think playoffs here. I'm going to give you some teams, and you tell me if they still have a chance at the AFC wild card, or are they just waiting till next year? How about Cleveland at 4-6?
They're actually getting hot right now, but I still don't see them getting there and being in the playoffs.
Okay, same division. Steelers, they're 5-5 right now.
Yeah, I think the loss to Cleveland finished off that run.
Also 5-5, the Titans.
They actually have a chance if they stick to what they do best, and that's run the football. They'll have to chase down Indianapolis and Houston in their own division.
Okay, lastly, I'm going to ask the question because they've talked about it. How about the 3-7 Jets?
Who's they and why?
Not you and I.
Okay, I was about to say, why? No.
23 yards, the final tally. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. The tackle by Robert Quinn. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback land on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And no move to pull Carr and the offense off. They're going to go on 4th down. Carr to throw for on 4th down. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And he doesn't quite make it. Taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Punching it in from a yard away. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and it converted a 2nd time for 6 points.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 14. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
And he is finally out of bounds, but he gets all the way down right around the 20. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott, and he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. Again, it's Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Prescott now. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal.
TK been glitching on me. They crashed on me twice.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you will too.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They run it with Jacobs. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Raiders on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Carr. It's caught. Jones. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play that time for the Raiders. 41 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
On first down, it's Jacobs. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw his Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sean Lee, the longtime vet, getting in and getting to the QB.
Well, now it takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 13-yard line. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. The extra point, a vital one, and he gets it to go. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go to Elliott again. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And that's Elliott. Complete.
Oh, no.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. On first down, it's Elliott. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. The tackle made by Nicholas Morrow. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. On second down, Elliott. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
At this stage, you've got to hustle, got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So it all rests now on the right foot of Brett Maher. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So it all rests now on the right foot of Brett Maher. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And his kick is good. And it'll be a good time in Big D tonight. The Cowboys have won it. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough.
I like the No Mercy WrestleMania 2000, man.
Victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
2 of my favorite games of all time, WWE. Yeah, WWF attitude was better than this crap 2K20.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Oakland, we sign off. So long, everybody.
Rick. I'm trying to think. That was on GameCube, wasn't it? Shit, I want that game.
From the site that many call the loudest in the NFL, we are inside Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the Oakland Raiders. Bitter rivals going back to their AFL days in the 1960s. The Chiefs and Raiders are underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The big man, P.J. Hall, had the path to the QB there. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, an 80-yard touchdown.
That's a good point.
And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. So that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
This fielded at the 2.
Yeah, you're right, man.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Shotgun now for Carr. Jones has it. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up a touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down the score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Carl Joseph came roaring in on the safety blitz.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. And the pressure gets to him again. From his linebacker spot, Vontaze Burfict with a sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Yeah, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. He is going to find Hill here. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. Now here's Mahomes into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He completes it to Jones. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. The end result, 21 yards. Here's Jacobs. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Chris Benoit.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
It's a lot more than probably saying that.
Carr gives to Rashard. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from 4 yards out as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
No telling what he thinks. To this day, though,
the Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Mahomes to throw. They complete it to Hill. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down. Mahomes now on 1st down. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete. And with that, folks, I want to remind you to join the NFL Salute to Service. This season, the NFL and its players are honoring those who proudly serve our country, and fans are nowhere to escape, and he goes down. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Mahomes and the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on 4th. To throw, it's Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from 4th down to 1st. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory. Down at the 31. Working from the gun, Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report for business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now it's Mahomes again. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Max Crosby just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the gun, it's Mahomes. And it's caught. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They come out here in the eye. They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. 4th and goal. And they'll run it with McCoy. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. So they went for it from the 1 on 4th and goal, and they got it done.
Is this the new NFL?
This is the new NFL.
This is the updated NFL, and I like it. I know that quarterbacks across the league have spent the entire offseason and even during the season lobbying their coaches to go for it more on 4th down. Let's go get it. Because nowadays, you've got to score points to win games in the NFL. You can't just rely on your defense to hold them.
I think the quarterbacks want to eliminate field goals inside of 30 yards, probably.
Well, listen, they have enough confidence in themselves that they can call plays and make plays that they won't need those field goals inside the 30.
Carr now on 1st down. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this 1st half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Carr. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. It's caught. Jones. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So first and 10 now from the 30. Again, they'll throw with Carr. Looking middle, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there in a Raider first. Again, it's Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now two straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. The final shot here before half for Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one, a first down pickup of 8. They'll run on first down. Jacobs. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got a they're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. All right, CD, let's look ahead to Week 12. The week before Thanksgiving, hard to believe some big games. It started Thursday night, Colts-Texans to decide who would go ahead in that division, but also Seahawks-Eagles, a game that you're going to be doing. That's a big one.
It's a monster one, and if you look at the Eagles' record, you would think they absolutely have to have it. But in the NFC East, even a loss doesn't eliminate them, does it? But if they win, they could be neck and neck with Dallas. With Seattle, they're trying to keep pace and stay right on the heels of San Francisco in the NFC West. How about Dallas at New England? That's a big-time game. The Cowboys trying to maintain their lead in the NFC East. New England just 1 loss. And Green Bay at San Francisco. That game got flexed to Sunday night and deserved to be. That could be one of the better ones we'll see this year.
Yeah, that's a trio of games that is very, very strong this weekend. On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. And that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first. Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
So statistically, both of these offenses have a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Mahomes now to throw, and it's complete to Kelsey. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. Mahomes now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's first and 10. Mahomes going to throw. That one complete to Hill. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On second and 10, Carr, he's got it to Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
To throw is Carr. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver, but it'll be second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Carr will try it again on second down. Caught by Jones. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. On first and 10, here's Carr. This complete to Jones. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. He got 29 yards that time. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys are back within a single score.
Okay, I know it's an old line, but it still applies here. The fat lady has not sung yet. She may be warming up, but she hasn't sung yet. There's still an opportunity.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
On 2nd and 15 now. Mahomes nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Now Mahomes. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Hey, box truck, box truck. Mike, 53, Mike.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. Jones has it. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Damn, man.
Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this game not quite over yet. We'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And it's no good. No, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
He completes it to Jones. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. touchdown as Carr. Catch made, it's Moreau. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Carr keeps it on the sneak. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Derek Carr with his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So with 40 seconds left, we'll see the onside kick. If they've ever needed one to go their way, it's now. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And the Chiefs have got it. And with that, they should have a victory as well. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and it was Patrick Mahomes leading the way.
He doesn't seem to get ruffled no matter where he plays, does he? Home, on the road. If you put him in a neutral site, which he hopes one day would be the Super Bowl, he plays at a high level. We know about the big right arm, but I think it's the poise that I'm really, really admiring out of this youngster and watching him play. How about the first 3 games of his career in the NFL as a starter in 2018? He set a record for touchdown passes with 13.
Yeah, you think back to that entrance, and he has just kept it up. Amazing what he's been able to do. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.
I gotta get a win, man.
The NFL on EA Sports has come to the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. first rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Darren Waller, 83 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms, because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Push it back. Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's go. Deep, tighten up.
Hey, Delta.
Deep, tighten up.
Hey, 110. Check. Hey, get.
Let's go.
Working out of the gun. Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early, because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
They run again on first down. Cook. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there, first down, Vikings. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Vontez Burfict, the one to get him down.
Yeah.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about with one of the GMs in the league. It's told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They'll run with Cook. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Cousins to throw it. In double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Carr. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams.
Boy. What I'm talking about, baby?
There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Tyrell Williams, 93 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. A toss to Cook. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Now Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Cook running right. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on 4th down.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Hey, Haywood. Coming this way, coming this way. Here we go, here we go. Here we go. Good route here.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7.
Hey, we're good, we're good. Hey, one set. Check, Mike. Hey, Alpha. Mike, 54. It's our time. It's our time, guys.
They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
But, you know, writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go, Steve. Here I come.
They run. Cook. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Well, he can be a load to handle off the edge, and he can do it against the pass. Sure, he can do it against the run like he did there.
And you mentioned a load. How about having to adjust to his speed as well? Because not only does he bring some pop, he brings some dash as well. A nice play on that situation.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Eric Harris who picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Quit talking about it and bring it.
Carr now on 1st down. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Carr now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Check Mike. We're good.
Shotgun now for Carr. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Hey, high 7.
54 is Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Looking downfield for Joe, and that's caught inside the 30. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. On 1st down, Carr letting one go deep. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Carlson able to put this one through. And that will do it for this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of... starts them.
Just in case it cut off. Get that.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They run it again with Cook. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Cousins now. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Throwing is Cousins.
Let's go.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Benson Mayowa. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. On 1st down, it's Jacobs. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On 2nd and 15 now. Carr. Complete to Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. With that incompletion, I want to get your MVP thoughts. Lamar Jackson, he seems to be the leader right now, is he not?
I would agree with that, and his team is the hottest team in the league right now.
And then you've got, well, let's think of the others. Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Who else? Christian McCaffrey?
I would say Christian McCaffrey, although it's hard for a running back to win it. Don't forget Michael Thomas with the Saints continued to have big numbers even while Drew Brees was out. But also, if Patrick Mahomes gets hot and the Chiefs run off a string, he's a defending NFL MVP.
But think about this. If Lamar Jackson does win the MVP, he'll be the first 22-year-old to do it since Jim Brown. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Gotta do better.
Running from the gun, it's Abdullah. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Again, it's Cook. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
On 4th down, they do snap it to Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Cook. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 30-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 30 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down.
Check 99. Check 99.
Express. Raider 1. 54.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard after the 36. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. Trying to run forward with Jacobs. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Here's A.J. Cole now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now Cook. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Throwing, Cousins. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
To throw is Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. Now Cousins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Cousins. And this one held in by Rudolph. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.